Here's the ugly truth. Mindfulness has become just one more box to check on your performance list. You're told to sit still, silence your mind, and achieve perfect calm while your inbox explodes and your thoughts scream for attention. You've tried it, right? You sit there fidgeting, chasing quiet, and your brain just gets louder. But here's the real secret. Mindfulness was never about stopping your thoughts. It's about watching them move without hopping on board that train that's moving faster than the speed of light. In this video, I'll show you a faster, science-backed way to get focused and calm. No more 20-minute sits and no incense. Stay to the end for a mini exercise that can reset your brain in under 2 minutes. Hi, I'm Will D., college professor and longtime martial artist. And today, we're talking about practical micro-mindfulness that you can actually use during your busy day. Most people treat mindfulness like a test. If I stop thinking, I'll be calm. So they stare at a blank wall, battle their thoughts, and wait for silence that never shows. Then they blame themselves. That's not you failing, that's just bad instructions. Your brain didn't come with an on-off switch. It's wired to predict and stay alert. Tell it stop thinking, and it responds by turning the volume up. That's the mental control trap. The effort to quiet down triggers the very stress circuits you're trying to calm. Neuroscience shows us that busy brains have more default mode activity, the background loops that plan, worry, and replay. You can't flip those off, but you can learn to watch them without reacting to them. The point of mindfulness is not suppression, it's observation. For people juggling work, family, and 47 tabs, long sits are simply unrealistic. Short awareness bursts, 30 seconds to 2 minutes, train the same attention networks as long sessions because repetition matters more than duration. Think daily micro reps, not heroic marathon sits. Here's what's happening in the brain. Attention depends on your prefrontal cortex. That's the focus director, sensory circuits, what keep you grounded, and the dopamine prediction loop, the reward system. Traditional meditation tries to train all three of these with long sessions, but your brain adapts faster with frequent small reps. Each quick round of focused attention is like a tiny lift at the cognitive gym. It strengthens the come back here pathway. Neuroplasticity responds to repeated cues more than single long events, so those 30 to 120 second resets really do matter. Dopamine helps explain why micro reps feel so good. Dopamine drives curiosity and engagement, not just pleasure. A brief pause creates novelty. The head noise drops a notch, and the brain predicts a small reward. Then a reinforcement loop forms. That's how present gets stamped in. This mechanism also links to flow. When attention, challenge, and emotion all line up, you move from efforting to being absorbed. Micro-mindfulness reduces cognitive friction so attention can glide like a musician finding rhythm, not by trying harder, but by tuning in. Most people assume mindfulness needs silence and perfect posture. That's not true. It just needs full engagement with the present. You can practice while washing a cup, typing a paragraph, or waiting in line. The key is total sensory engagement. Feel temperature, hear small sounds, notice micro movements. Here's a quick story. A client described chaotic mornings, emails, alerts, coffee, keys. I asked her to pick just one moment to be fully there. She chose her first sip of coffee. 5 seconds, warmth, aroma, mug against her fingers. Her breathing slowed, her shoulders dropped, her mind paused. That tiny habit repeatedly signals the vagus nerve, activates the parasympathetic nervous system, and drains midi-cortisol surges. Do that several times a day, and the brain shifts resources toward frontal networks. Better logic and self-control become easier. Calm isn't about emptying thoughts. It's about anchoring to the present often enough that your brain relearns what now feels like. Short reps sharpen sensory clarity, reduce cortisol buildup, and boost focus when you need it. Now let's put this into action with 7 micro techniques you can actually do. Each takes under a minute, and it fits into real life. No cushions required. First is the 10-second breathe. Lock. Breathe in through your nose until your lungs fill. Hold for 2 seconds, then Exhale slowly through your mouth. Feel your shoulders drop as you exhale. That tiny pause interrupts rumination loops and resets rhythm. Do it once or twice before a meeting or a sprint of emails. Second is the doorway reset. Every time you cross a doorway, make it a cue. Notice your feet, your posture, and take one full breath as you pass. It creates mental boundaries between context, meetings to emails, home to work, so stress doesn't hitch a ride. Third is mindful coffee. Before the first sip, ignore your phone, hold the mug, sense warmth, inhale, and then taste that full mouthful fully. That concentrated moment anchors you in reality before digital noise floods your attention. It's a little indulgent, but big training effect. Fourth is taking message pause. Before you hit send or reply, exhale once and check your emotional tone. Are you tense, defensive, rushed? One breath gives the prefrontal cortex time to reassert control so your response is clearer and less reactive. Fifth is the task transition scan. Switching tabs leaves residue. Before the next task, scan shoulders, jaw, and eyes. Drop shoulders, release the jaw, soften your gaze. 10 seconds resets the body awareness and signals your brain you're starting fresh. Sixth is elevator breathing. Use microweights, elevator, loading bar, stoplight. Breathe in for 4 seconds, exhale for 6. The longer exhale tips the nervous system toward rest. 2 or 3 cycles and your pulse drops. No one notices, but you reap the benefits. And seventh is the 60-second flow. Pick an ordinary task, typing, washing hands, folding paper for a full minute. Focus on texture, sound, and rhythm. Track details, keystrokes, water temperature, friction on skin. Notice time loosening slightly. That's a mini flow state, calm yet alert. Each technique taps a different anchor. Breath targets autonomic regulation. Sensory focus fills the attention channel. Physical checks drain muscle tension. Stack them. Breath lock, then doorway reset, and you reinforce learning across pathways. It's like compound training for your nervous system. Do these really work? Yes. Frequency builds neurogrooves. 1 minute resets repeatedly 5 or 6 times. Change baseline activity more than a single long session. You quit after a week. The people who handle stress aren't drama-free. They build reps at returning to the present. The more you catch yourself and run a micro tool, the shorter your recovery curve. Try one right after this video. Use the next doorway, the next sip, or the next message as your cue. Simple act, measurable effect. Notice the mental static drop a few decibels. That's neurotraining in disguise. Make this a habit. Mindfulness is a rep, not a ritual. Every tiny reset tells your brain what calm really feels like. Start with one micro technique and do it 3 times a day. Add another tomorrow. Daily micro resets compound into spontaneous flow and steadier focus. And if you want more strategies that build on this, more flow hacks that use neuroscience and mindset tools together, subscribe now. This exercise was just one step, and future sessions will expand your toolkit. Until the next time, this is Will Deek wishing you only success. And remember, flow can become your default setting. Practice daily, hit subscribe, and I'll see you